Alright, it is 9:43 a.m. and I had one trade with KGKG, but I spent a really long time. This might be the ultimate turnaround. I want to see if it will be it. But this thing can't continue the downtrend, although now it's trying to slow down, it seems like. I don't think I'll try to consider trading this again because I just would rather watch it and just learn from its price action. If maybe more stocks in the future start to look like this, trade the same way as this, then I can have that much more experience. I just want to, sit back and just see how this one trades. But this was a morning panic bounce play in theory, but I was super cautious with it, taking my time on really finding a point where it looked like it was going to turn around because it looks like it's going to turn around multiple times, but then it just keeps downtrending because of the way it trades. It's a very ugly trading stock, and it just had its first red day the other day, and now today's a bigger red day. Yeah, this one just trades all weird. Anyway, I was in briefly at 940, and that was right here, 940. I was in this candle at 193 because it looks like it was going to turn around here. And, the idea would have been that I was going to cut the trade if it breaks below 185. Worst case, I'm out at 1.8 flat, or if I'm really unlucky, I'm going to be out in the 170s, but that wasn't the case. And then, because it takes a long time for for an order to go through, at 941, I placed an order to get out on the uptrend while it looked like it was uptrending. And when I placed the sell order, it actually got filled immediately. So I was expecting to maybe place this order here and then sell at a better price, but it just sold instantly, and that was kind of different from my. That is a nice big better if that's real. I might actually have more interest, but I might just trade 2,500 shares just because of the way it's so sketchy, right? Yeah, you see now it just jumps up. It does that a lot, and then maybe if you're I guess undisciplined, you try to chase it on the way up, and then you're in at 198, and then it goes back to 185, and now you feel like an idiot and you're cutting losses. So I've learned from that. That was a point that I might have actually have considered going long, but it's just so sketchy. You see, now it's back at the same price level at 193, almost 192, 191, just like that. It just looks like it's going to turn around. That's why you can't chase, especially on this type of stock. As for the other ones, I was looking at IGEX. I did see the downtrend here. I was kind of late to seeing the turnaround. It wasn't really ideal looking, but I mean, this did turn around from the 71 to 75 level. This could be a nice morning panic bounce play if it does it, maybe tomorrow or later today with more volume. Nothing with CYBL. I was actually looking at ABML for a morning spike, and it did it. I just really didn't get into it because it was so quick, but I was thinking that it could totally do a turnaround today after, downtrending all of these days and finding a support level, give or take around this 111 level. So this was a nice morning spike. In theory, it could have been a part of if I was more aggressive. A little sketchy after that move in terms of how it's trading, but yeah, I'll keep watching KGKG. It could try to turn around. I mean, I could just buy and risk the day low, but maybe it breaks the day low and all of a sudden it's in the 16 level because of the way this one trades. I'll make an update later. Okay, it is 10 o'clock and I want to make an update. Because of how strange this stock trades, I just wanted to learn from it. I didn't necessarily wanted to trade it. And but I also wanted to get experience. So what I did was just something in the middle. I traded 500 shares, which is a very puny $10 position with KGKG. And from the other OTCs that I tend to trade, a lot of them, when they have a very choppy downtrend and it's all, weird looking and stuff like that, um, when it eventually shows that all the big volume is out of it, as you can see, it started to lower the amount of volume before it got to here. A lot of them tend to turn around because all of the big sellers or market makers or whoever, is trading this stock, are done just dumping all their shares stop losses from maybe people who bought this and placed a stop loss, some other day ago. But once all of it disappears, all the big volume, a lot of them tend to turn around eventually and make a move towards VWAP, or at least get close to it, or best case it gets above it. So I decided to just, just with that in mind, just trade 500 shares. And I knew, if it was going to work, it would not make any significant money, or, I wouldn't lose anything. I traded a tenth of my 5,000 share position, which is also a very tiny position in terms of day trading. And, if I can see more consistency in my trading and more profitability, that's when I'll start trading larger position sizes, God willing, little by little, and then continue to, get better in that sense. But I decided to just trade 500 shares at 949 at 192. With that in mind, that, a lot of them do that, and the volume was fading, but this one is very sketchy the way it trades. Immediately after that candle, I risked the day low and it started the downtrend. I placed an order to get out when it looked like it was trying to break the day low, and I did get out eventually, but at the very bottom. And that is the way this type of stock trades. It's so sketchy. You're either at the very top of the candle or the very bottom. It's like a pendulum. It's not very easy to get out in the middle of something. You're either going to be in, for example, in this candle, right when it closes, right? Right when it closes at the very top, or maybe right in the beginning of this candle right here, or right at the very end of the candle. It's not something that lets you get in and out in the middle very easily. It's not very consistent. It's not fluid. It's very, very choppy. So I got to learn from the price action, and this one maybe could actually do the uptrend here and get to VWAP, but I don't like how VWAP has been downtrending, although now it's starting to hold itself, so maybe it might actually get to that level. But you think it's the bottom, and then it just breaks lower, and then maybe you think this is the bottom. You're gonna get in again at 189, and you hope it actually gets to VWAP, but then 2 candles later, it starts breaking the day low again. This one is very sketchy, and I'm happy to just watch the stock and learn from its price action. That's really about it. ABML did do a nice breakout. I missed it. It didn't uptrend that much more, but I was looking forward to this one being like a turnaround day. And yeah, I just had one very quickly in the morning, and I was too busy looking at KGKG. But that's the point right now. I will not trade this one anymore unless it does something stupid clean or super enticing, like maybe it drops to 15 or like 1 cent, just something crazy, 1 cent flat. Otherwise, I'm just going to learn from this price action and see how it does, and just continue to learn from it. I think also to take into consideration the amount of size you see on the tape is better of an indicator than the level 2 on this type of stock. So that's something else I've noticed. But yeah, this thing is downtrending again. Maybe it can be an inverse head and shoulders, shoulder head, and maybe it makes a shoulder. But who knows? I probably won't trade it anymore. I'll be looking for other setups, and I'll make an update later. Okay, it is 12:11 p.m. and I want to see if this is going to be the ultimate top at 165, or if maybe towards the end of the day is going to make a move towards VWAP or above it. I've seen this pattern multiple times, even though this one trades a bit weird. This is known as a 11 a.m. reversal, where it just finally, a stock that is so beaten down on the day like this one, which went down 42%, eventually starts to turn around past 11 a.m. It's called like a tsunami panic, when it just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping, and then it eventually gets itself together in uptrends. There's a chance this might be the ultimate top, but there's also a chance again it can maybe later towards the rest of the day uptrend and maybe get to that level. Let me see if I have some screenshots of this same pattern. I don't think I do. I have some examples. Here's OWUV. This one was down 22%, not that much, but it just kept downtrending. As you can see, it's very similar, and then it downtrends. And then when it got to 11, I thought it could try to do a reversal. It didn't really do it, as you can see from this trade here, but it kind of did one eventually. And this one dropped a lot. This one is DPLS. This is not an 11 a.m. reversal. At least it isn't as nice. I'm just looking for that turnaround. This one might be better. Here's another one where it kind of downtrended right, and it got to 11, and it did make a move from this 126 level. It did get to the 13s. It didn't get to VWAP. So this is probably the closest example to KGKG, and this one was down, as you can see, 32%. And this also did an inverse head and shoulders. So an inverse head and shoulders and the move after 11 made this one pretty enticing. We don't really have an inverse head and shoulders for this one, and this might have been the move from 15 to 16, and that might be it. Like, this one never got to VWAP. So yeah, I wonder if it's going to do it. And as for the other setups, this one actually had an uptrend. I didn't really see this, but I don't know if I would have traded that. It was a bit random. ABL mail, maybe this can do something nice if it breaks the day high. I think it's up on news or something, like with some new employee from Tesla or something like that. I didn't really see this panic. It's not really clean. I wish it would trade better. That's about it. I'll make an update when the markets are close and go over what ultimately happened here with KGKG. Okay, it is 6:21 p.m. and I am here to call it off. Overall, I am up on the day just 80 pennies, and that was trading KGKG 2 times. I was profitable on the first trade, although it wasn't really ideal. And the second trade, I traded a very small size, but I did have a actually large percent loss of 7%. Good thing I was just trading a speculative size and saying something that in theory should play out, but this one was just a really bad tsunami type panic stock that just kept downtrending. And you know, for a stock that went down 50% on the day, I think I did a good job being profitable trading it. But I'm a little salty because I feel like I could have been a part of a turnaround ultimately, especially the 11 a.m. turnaround. Maybe I could have been in at 15 or 16, and it did get as high as 17.5 here. It did touch VWAP. It didn't get much past it, but it did get to that level. And this is something I would like to be a part of in the future. Something that I can, in theory, maybe trade profitably in the future as I just get more experience, especially from this trade right here. And that was about it. I had no interest in any of the other setups today, but you know, it could be something in the making. Let me remove these trend lines from the other day that glitched out. That's really about it. And ABML did have a nice uptrend. Maybe it could have been a part of that morning panic. Not panic, but that morning spike and the breakout maybe here. But this would have been kind of hard for me to trade because it was later in the day. But it didn't make a movement. Maybe it'll try to reverse, who knows. But in the meantime, it'll be a watch. And this one is super sketchy. I wish I was able to see this uptrend while it was happening. Maybe not trade it, but at least see it happen just to learn from it. That's all I have for today. It wasn't really ideal with KGKG, but again, for trying to go long on a stock that went down 50% on the day, I think I did all right. And hopefully in the future, I can see one of these again, and I can trade it much more profitably and with a lot more size, especially with that ultimate turnaround that it did.